Hello! So, for those of you who are wondering, my compadre, Lee Angelo over here. You can actually talk, it's okay.
I know. I'm still doing my last minute stuff. Let me move this out my way too.
Oh, I see, okay.
Today
Hey,
I get to be
Damaris! Hey,
on
Janine!
camera and do all the stuff I normally do too.
Hey, Kristen! Hey, Jan! Okay, well, let's go ahead and get the, but let's, just for those people who don't know, this is who we are. So get the, names up there so for you so you can tell.
Yay!
Yeah.
And I gotta say another thank you to Jennifer from Arentar Troll for designing that for me. I love it.
Yeah, it kind of makes you look like a little bit like a pirate there. I don't know. I mean, normally that's not exactly a good thing in the industry, but except at Faire, it's perfectly okay. In the tech, not so much, but in Faire, no, you're good.
Oh, Janine just noticed my knitting loom. Yes, I do loom knit. I know how to do other things too, but loom knitting's kind of my thing. I'm actually making my husband a hat right now, so I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I get started on some baby blankets.
And no, she's not muted this time. So yes, I did actually give her a voice. Trying to be, a modern guy on that. So. So yes, let's take away our names for the moment because now you've all seen them, so we're good. So yes, that works. Woohoo! And they're gone. Yeah, that's never gonna get old. Never. Oh yeah. Oh no, a bee sting. Oh no, Elizabeth, that's horrible. On your pinky toe. That's just not fun.
All right, so my hero of a husband has been killing ground wasp nests. I'm actually allergic to bees and wasps, and so we try to keep them away. And he has discovered, I think, 3 ground wasp nests on our property in the last week. The poor man has been stung, I think, 10 times over a course of 72 hours. It was so ridiculous.
Oh,
He's my hero.
Kristen just said she had to go look up what the word Fudgel meant.
Oh yeah, you found it? Who else looked at what Fudgel means? I gotta know.
And I have to give Leah all the credit. She came up with the word. It sounds like something I would throw out. I'm not going to lie, but no, this was all Lee. I heartily approve, though.
You did. He was into it as soon as I said
it. Hello, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Woohoo. Yeah, this is sort of a new format we're doing here. Oh, Elizabeth just thought it was a euphemism for something else.
It does sound like a euphemism.
It kind of does, yes.
It does.
Yeah. Many jobs that would be described as Fudgel for Kristen.
I think we all have, whether we admit it or not.
Yes. But enough about my last band.
You're gonna make me spit my drink tonight.
That's the goal. You see, we all have goals when we do videos. I mean, some of them are small, like getting somebody to say this from the chat, or and sometimes it's to get the other person sharing the screen with you to have a liquid spurt out their nose. So yeah, it's important. It's important to have that up front. Otherwise, you're just not doing it right. So yes,
I'll give you that.
I think so. I think that's the way you have to look at it. But no, do you want to tell them the definition of Fudgel?
Yeah, since I came up with the word, I guess I should be the one to say
Probably
it.
Should.
It's basically when you look like you're productive and working and you're actually not. It's an
Mhm.
18th century word for anybody interested.
Yes, yes. Oh man. But yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
in the comments there, I see somebody volunteering to be interviewed for the podcast. I don't see that Piper gun.
Hey, Jason. Totally. We can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll be hitting you up. Don't even worry about that, bud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I've improved my lighting once again. I changed the lighting around a little bit, and I think it looks a lot more natural now. Trying to do as much as I can with just a medium quality camera to try to try to maximize what's possible with that, and I'm very happy with it so far. So small steps, but every little bit helps. So I think I actually look a lot more like me now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, less pasty is good.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's the problem is there's just so many things you can do with it. I mean, there's so many different little things you can do, and if you do a major thing, it looks wrong. So you have to do a little here, a little there, a little, and you keep messing with it. So yeah, but I'm happy with the progression, and if you look at it as small steps, I've been doing better each time, so I'm happy. And indeed, yay for silly archaic words. Because I mean, I am the guy who tried to bring back Brobdingnagian as a word of the day. So, I mean, I am a fan of trying to bring back some of those words you don't hear anymore, introducing it to your friends, and the next thing you know, it's what everybody says. Because I think we've kind of dumbed down our language way too much because of the internet, and I'd like to see what we can do about that. Oh, wow. Jason says he's got a new live stream studio with 4K. So, okay, we'll see what we can do there.
Yeah, I think we need to test that baby out.
Okay.
I'm into it.
We'll talk. See what we can do there. I like it. Oh, well, I mean, let's see. Should I can show off the different screens. What do you think? Show off their screens?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, well, so I've worked on all these transitions to try to say like, okay, so I'm talking with Lee right now, and hey, how's it going? And then I'm gonna start talking to you, and Lee's a secondary character in the conversation. So yeah, let's do this. Well, hello down there. Nice to see you. So yeah, there you go. Yaw. She's a little streamer. So yeah. And then sometimes she might not be on there, so it's just me. So boom, get back there and then go back to the main. But sometimes it's all about her. Let's just be honest. For those of you who've met her, it's the truth. So sometimes here we go with just her. So boom, there we go. All
Get to see my lovely office, or at least half of it.
Yeah, a little bit more of it. And then, okay, but sometimes I like to get involved because I do butt in. It's very rare, but it sometimes happens. So yeah, so suddenly I'm going to jump in and hey, here I am.
Oh, there
and I
he
can
is.
talk and say, hey, look at our office. Isn't it great? Wow.
There he is. Let's see. It's backwards on my screen. So he's like over here.
Yeah,
there we are.
Yeah. And then you can, and then we can go back to the main and boom, we just suddenly pop right back up together. So yes. So for those of you wondering what I do in my spare time, this is it. I don't just use something.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, something that somebody just puts together for me. No, I install the plugin and configure all this myself. Why? Because that's what I consider fun. Just like finding a green LED, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think things are looking up for webcams because I noticed that the good quality Logitech webcams are starting to filter back in to be where you can buy them. So if any of you are needing a webcam and holding out to get a good one, they're starting to come out now. So I think something to keep in mind.
Oh, Kristen's asking do you really actually have spare time?
Chess, yes, it's
So
called giving up sleep.
yeah, so no, spare time's not a real thing at Life's Affair or on these offices. He just likes to think that all this research and stuff that he does is fun. So that's what he considers the spare time.
Yeah, it helps because I I'm not caught up in any TV shows. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I'm not
I
either.
really am not. I know nothing that's
I am
recent.
not either. I
It's
am behind a full season on Outlander, which is killing me. And I have not been able to watch any of Yellowstone yet,
mm,
which is my husband's favorite show. He got into it on his last deployment, and I haven't watched a single episode yet, unfortunately.
wow.
Andrew's a taskmaster.
Yeah, the right. No, the no, I haven't even seen any of those shows. So I am so far behind. Mm.
Yeah.
Ah. Well, anyway. Ah. Oh, new set of pipes. 2 new sets of pipes. Not bad, Jason.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, that's always when you get a new instrument, it's both great and challenging because when you first of all, there's a little bit of a learning curve because it's a little different. Your fingers go a slightly different place than they would on another. It's subtle, but if you're used to playing your main instrument continually, you have to change your finger position slightly. Maybe the pressure is a little different. Maybe for wind instruments, sometimes the way those work is a little different. I mean, you have to change your habits a little, so you have to work on that. It can be a challenge, definitely. I mean, even on the lowly recorder, it's very different. Wow, watching a show for the 6th time. Yeah, I haven't even. I think I saw the first episode of Outlander. That is all. I have not seen any more. That's how out of touch I am with that. I really need to binge watch that.
You do. So I need more people to discuss this with. I'm quasi obsessed with the
know.
show, which never happens.
I'm a horrible friend
I
here
just
'cause
do not get into TV on this level
she
ever.
does not.
So
It's like
really
pulling
don't.
teeth. I've said, you got to watch this show. You got to watch it, and nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So super weird that I actually got into this TV show, but I liked the books first, so that helped, and they do stick to
That
the
would.
books. Yeah.
That would.
They do a really good job of sticking with the books, and the changes they've made to the show have like actually enhanced it. Like I totally understand why they made the choices they did. It made sense. So yeah, it is very unusual that I am this into a TV show.
Yeah, Drew and Bethany. Damaris. Caught myself.
I would say, don't make me
Drew
laugh
and
you with wet
Damaris,
noodles on the air.
they talked about switching between different ranges of recorder, but honestly, when you've played it long enough, switching between different recorders, just different brand recorders that are like the same soprano, is a challenge because you get so used to the amount of air you push through it that the variation is definitely major. It's a major difference that you have to get used to. Once you get to that level, it's kind of crazy, but it is really tough. Switching from my classic Xenon recorder that I played for years over to a Yamaha was a huge challenge. Some of the high notes were easier to play on the Xenon, but it was a little easier to play the general range on the Yamaha, so it was a little easier in other ways. So I mean, it's always a give and take, but you have to change the way you breathe, so it's always strange. Haha, Baroque or German fingering.
Y'all getting fancy.
Yeah, Baroque, not German. German is, you don't normally see that over here. You don't. Back when recorders were reinvented, and I say reinvented because it was in the early 1900s, nobody knew how to make them. Actually, recorders weren't made in the 1800s. They just stopped. So nobody wanted them, and the orchestra took the flute. They did not take the recorder, so they stopped making them. And then people went antiquing, in that late Victorian era and found recorders and liked them and wanted them. So a British company and a German company rediscovered, um, reverse engineered how to make a recorder from samples they got, and that's how we have them now. So yeah, German fingering you don't normally see over here. It's at least in my experience. And whistles are, yeah, that's a totally different animal, but yeah, those are fun too. Oh yeah, yeah, it's Stampede. Oh gosh, it's been so long since I shared a stage with this Stampede at TRF. Those were the days. Mhm. Yeah, Damaris, Baroque fingering for the win. Or as I like to call her, Demi. She's a hemi, demi, semi musician. Everybody loves Outlander.
See?
I really got to check that out someday.
It.
I know. Did you like these transitions, or do you want me to watch Outlander? Because those are pretty much the options we got here going on. Okay, I mean,
we can have both.
I mean, okay, I mean, did you want the names to pop up like this, or did you want them to actually go in and look cool and come out like something more like this? Ooh, and pop out. That was cool. So it's just, which one do you want? And that's the thing. So
I want all of it though.
And you have to you don't just
how
click
long
the
have you
button and
known
say,
me?
do this.
Like seriously,
do you know how many settings it took to do that?
I want all of it.
Of course you do.
I usually get all of it too. I mean, let's be real.
Oh, Kristen's asking about the new shows that we couldn't tell them about on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
is that why you came here? You wanted to hear about the new shows? Really?
I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
crazy that.
Let's see. I'm looking at my list. So, fun fact.
Tell them how long the list is. Tell them how long the list is.
I actually I numbered the list earlier today so I could see how many different shows are at some stage of production, whether it's pre-production or further. We have 57 shows on our list right now. That's a lot. We have a lot going on around here. And some of them are full shows, some of them are series. It's different things. But we have 57 different things either in some stage, development or some stage of production right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Little bit.
Crazy.
A little bit. So yeah, it's it is nuts. Now, I mean, I told you a little bit about Shakespeare reviews, and that is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's one of the 57. I'm super pumped about that one.
I finally got all the files together for that, and I'm currently working on finalizing those episodes. But yeah, for those of you curious, can I go ahead and tell them what do you think what movies we're reviewing for that?
Yeah, let's go ahead because that show is actually in post-production now, which means it's going to be premiering soon. I'll talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah, I think just in a few weeks, right? Something like that. So yeah, I mean that's settled now. So yeah, okay.
It is. We're waiting on a few little odds and ends before we set the premiere.
How many meetings we have every day. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Really is. I mean, yeah, I remember when I was young and I was looking at my father, who was an auditor, an accountant, and I thinking, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And he'd have meetings all day and work behind a desk and deal with numbers and checking all that. And what am I doing?
And here we are.
I'm doing the exact same thing. So, so it's not exactly, but it's similar enough. It's a little eerie. So, I guess, Dad, I am your son. So yeah, we know. It's crazy. So yes, the Shakespeare reviews. We did 4 movies, and how we split it up was Shakespeare and I picked 2 movies, and he picked 2 movies for the first set of 4, and the concept was I pick one traditional adaptation of a Shakespeare play, and one not so traditional. And then he did the same thing. So my picks were 1968's Romeo and Juliet,
I love that one.
not to be confused with Claire Danes and all of that kind of
The
thing.
abomination that is
Well,
Baz
some
Luhrmann.
people like it. I'm not gonna.
I have strong opinions on that
We'll
one.
we'll save that for
We'll
the
get
review.
there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
That
Don't
one,
worry, it'll be
yeah.
reviewed. But yeah, the classic 1968 Zeffirelli production of Romeo and Juliet,
It's an excellent one.
and I wanted something very different, so I went with 1990's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, and a very interesting film because it came out 1 month after the Mel Gibson Hamlet. So Mel Gibson's Hamlet version, and it was also by Zeffirelli, as a matter of fact. He directed, and it was.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and so I really think that this movie benefited a lot from following Hamlet. People watched Hamlet, and then they were, Mel Gibson, sure, well back then, and then they were just like, oh, there's this like offshoot movie about Hamlet, and I think that really helped the movie along. But I mean, without it, I don't know. I mean, Tim Roth might not have had a career. Think about that. Think about Reservoir Dogs without Tim Roth.
God,
I know, right? It's frightening.
that
So
would
yes,
that would not work.
yes. So that. So I think those were good choices. Shakespeare chose 1948's Laurence Olivier's Hamlet. A classic. I definitely approved. One of the best early Shakespeare adaptations for a movie. I think probably in the first half of the 20th century, probably the best, arguably, but definitely on the short list. It's a good one. And then his sort of out of the box version of Macbeth, which was 2001 Scotland, PA, which is Macbeth set in the 1970s in the fast food industry.
Okay, I definitely need to watch that one.
It's actually
I must have missed that on the list.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It's actually really surprisingly good. And it also, one of the stars in there, wait for it, Christopher Walken.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and Jason's got to go, so take care.
Bass
and we'll talk.
fishing, huh?
All
All right, I expect to see a fish picture later, man.
That's true. Christopher Walken and some other people you definitely recognize. I'm early in their careers for some of them, so it was just an interesting choice. I'd never seen it. It's very much an indie film, really. He's up in the Pennsylvania area, so Scotland, PA, is an actual place,
Okay.
and so it is sort of. So he was very familiar with it because he knew some of the places that had been filmed. I'm glad he recommended it because I might have missed that film. And
I've never even heard of it. That's crazy.
Yeah. And Walken, love Christopher Walken, and
I do too.
he really brought it. I mean, it's subtle. He doesn't. I mean, Christopher Walken's subtle. Well, as subtle as he can be, but he just really a very good acting performance. I had a few issues with the movie early on, but it took me a while because especially there were some weird music choices. But about 30 minutes in, it was like they suddenly figured out how to edit. And they kind of were like, oh, okay. And they got better.
It happens.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes when an indie project, you're kind of rushing stuff and going, and there were some weird music choices and some weird edits. And then about 30 minutes in, it was all like they got their groove and I was riveted. But if you do watch it, check it out and give it that 30 minutes. Now, it's an indie film. It's not going to be easy to find, but I believe you can actually find it on YouTube. That they have the whole movie on YouTube. Yeah. Some indie films that are like that, they just do that way because it's just it doesn't have great distribution for whatever reason. So for them, it's better just to put it up so people see it. So you run into that sometimes, and I believe that's the easiest way to find it.
All right, and what's the exact name of the movie again?
Scotland, as in the country, PA.
Okay.
From 2001.
Got it.
So that's a good one.
Writing it down.
So yeah, I think, and if you want to, and for Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, if you really want that classic experience, go watch Mel Gibson's Hamlet first, and then watch it, because that's how most people back then watched it. I think.
Probably.
So, yeah, that was pretty good. Wow. So yeah, that's the Shakespeare Review stuff, and it is. I thought it was a good start, a good range of movies, and there are so many movies. Everything from the 10 Things I Hate About You, and just to Forbidden Planet. So classic sci-fi film based on the movie, or the play Tempest. The Tempest. So yeah, it is really cool stuff. I mean, there are great options out there, and of course, classic Kenneth Branagh adaptations of movies, and I mean, there's so many good options. So I think we're gonna have material for a while. I don't think.
Definitely. There's no lack of material.
No.
I knew there were quite a few movies that were based on Shakespeare. At least to some degree, but I honestly did not understand the true depths of this.
And
until we started this project.
A lot of generally faithful adaptations.
Yeah.
I mean, that they really try to do it the same way. I mean, as the play.
I mean, we're not even having to go out there yet, like we're not even close to that.
And I think the way we're doing it, by doing one traditional and one loose adaptation each, I think that's going to guarantee we're set for a while. Years, easy.
Alyssa just pointed out, don't forget the David Tennant Shakespeare stuff.
That is true.
We have not forgotten.
And there are movie versions that are like sort of TV movies that are Shakespeare plays that they have out, and they did so many straight to video stuff too. The BBC did a ton of stuff. So if it ever
Oh yeah,
wow.
no.
Mixing David Tennant, Firefly, and Shakespeare with one comment. That is great.
Oh, I like it. I like it. That's amazing.
Yes.
Kudos there.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh,
future second ex-husband.
You guys.
Oh, this is why I love you all.
Oh man.
Oh yes. Okay, we're talking about The Tempest with Helen Mirren. Absolutely, super duper on the list because I love Helen.
It's
Mirren.
already on the list.
Love Helen Mirren. She is one of my. I just want to be her when I grow up.
Yes.
I want that attitude. I mean, who doesn't want to be her when they grow up?
Definitely. Oh man. Yeah, that is, and she's been in so many movies, so many that many of you probably have never heard of.
Oh yeah,
especially early in her career in the 70s and all of that. Oh yeah, 70s and 80s films all over the place. That a lot of which did not get much notoriety at the time, unfortunately. But,
yeah, she's one that you need to kind of look back at.
Yeah, very much so. An interesting person, interesting actress. Certainly, not always the easiest to work with, as from what I've understood. Certainly has had rivalries with other actors and actresses sometimes.
I think part of that rep may come because she was one of the first to not take shit.
That's possible.
Possible. I mean, I'm sure she's not always the easiest. Lord knows I'm not. But part of the reason that some people will tell you that I am horrible to work with is because I'm, quote unquote, an aggressive female. I don't sit back and let men tell me what to do or actually it doesn't matter if they're male or female. I'm decently assertive. And when you're a woman, especially coming out of the time frame that she did, how many female actors were strong enough to stand up and say, nope, I'm not going to do that, or you're not going to do that, or that's not how this works. So, I mean, how much of that rep is truly earned, and how much it
honestly,
is just her standing up?
I think a lot of it is from early in her career.
That's why
that's the gist. That's the gist I've had from. I mean, I'm not saying she's Bruce Willis difficult to work with, because it's not that level.
There
I'm
are
just
levels.
saying, yeah,
There are
no.
levels.
I'm just saying that, and considering how expressive an actor is supposed to be, how passionate and emotional about the material and their role, if you aren't rubbing at least somebody the wrong way, you're probably not doing your job.
That is very true.
I mean, that's kind of, I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah.
And admittedly, it was a lot more difficult, I think, for women to accomplish that in the past. Not that it hasn't been done with sort of a Betty Davis or an Olivia de Havilland or people like that back in the day. But yeah, I mean, it certainly is a lot more difficult. So definitely, yeah, more power to her. But no, just a phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh well. Well, I mean, any other tidbits about our upcoming shows that we can talk about, or
well,
snippets?
On the topic of Shakespeare reviews still, we said that it's going to premiere very soon.
Yes.
It's in post-production right now. You guys need to keep an eye, because we have decided that we are going to do a virtual red carpet to premiere that show. I am super pumped about this.
We just talked about that. Okay.
Yeah, we just met with Dan Shakespeare the other day, and we discussed doing this, and he thought it was great. So we're going to have like all kinds of festivities. I'm not going to, let too much out, because we're still getting all the pieces into play. But it'll be on a Friday. Coming up in a couple of weeks. We're just waiting for a couple of last things to confirm so that we can, set the date in stone. But we're even going to have people walk the red carpet virtually, and it's going to be fun. Lots of fun. And we're going to have a way for all of the fans to get involved with it as well. So anybody who's on our digital team, we're going to be talking a lot about that coming up. So if you want to know more about it and behind the scenes on what's coming, you get to join the digital team and help us do it.
Oh yeah. There's a lot to be involved with. So please jump in. And I think there's also going to be some stuff that everybody watching might be able to join in on too, right?
Yes, there is. One of the things, I'm going to go ahead and plant this seed right now. We are actually going to have, like I said before, people walking the red carpet. And we're going to have fans send in pictures and little video clips and stuff of them dressed in their finest, whether it's garb or if you want to put on a ball gown and a tux, go for it. We encourage that kind of behavior around here.
The tux,
right?
And dress kilt. Oh man.
Yeah, there's so many choices. There are choices here, but we're actually going to have fans send in and actually post pictures, and we'll have a hashtag that you can use so that we can see the pictures and what have you. But yeah, all kinds of really neat, fun stuff. There's going to be just all kinds of stuff. Oh wait, Janine's asking if we need a calligrapher for the digital team. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, we could do that.
I can't tell you offhand exactly what I'll need a calligrapher for, but I am absolutely going to say yes to that.
There's definitely some stuff. I mean, it's one of those things where it could be interesting to go that route, because searching through fonts for things and all of that is a little generic. Having something customized might be nice.
Yeah. Well, and we're always designing different stuff. All the different shows have different needs. I love skill sets. It sounds kind of weird, but that's the fun part about putting together the digital team, is that it's called digital team, but you don't necessarily have to have tech skills beyond being able to keep up with a Facebook group. That's
Yeah,
how we
Facebook and
primarily
email.
communicate. And we'll probably, we might have an occasional Zoom meeting if we decide to, but nothing will ever be mandatory. It's all, what level of participation you want to have or not have, and nobody's ever going to get mad at you about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Kristen. She hates deciding on fonts. It's weirdly hard, she says, and I agree.
Oh, I hate it.
I've spent so many years just going through thousands of fonts, and how I've done it is I'll say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 3 days on fonts because that's how long it really takes, and I'll do it every few years, and just I'll start sorting and say, oh, I love that font, not for this, but I love that font, and I'll make a copy of that and have my short list of fonts I like for whatever reason for different things. And so over the years, I've sort of developed my go-to list of these are cool fonts. But every once in a while, we still run into a situation where it's like, oh, we need a new font. Ugh! And I spend hours and hours and hours sorting through fonts. So yeah, I understand. For me, in that type of situation, I don't know what I want until I see it. But when I see it, I know. That's generally how I roll on that. I don't think everybody's like that, but for me, I'll just go through, I'll type in what I want it to say, and I'll just scroll through the list of fonts, font, and I'll go through and look, and then I'm like, wait, that's what I want. And that's kind of how I roll. I don't know. How do you do it, Lee? Do you kind of go that route?
It depends on what I'm doing. Okay. I generally go into a project with a general idea of the feeling that I'm trying to evoke, or the general style that I'm going for. And so then I go looking for fonts that match that and just dig until something speaks to me.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of do that. I think you're a little more of an artist than I am for the eye.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a better idea of where to start. For me, it's just like, okay, let's look at every font. And
you see, looking at every font does not work for me because it will put me off on a tangent.
Yeah, you don't have the patience for it.
I don't. I'll start second guessing my overall view of the project, and that just gets super bad. So, I just realized that Janine also asked if you should email to join the digital team, and I didn't answer that. So yeah, you can email social@lifesafair.com, or you can send us a message through the page. You can, if you're friends with either of us on Facebook, send us that way. Homing pigeon does not matter. I will get back to you and get you added to the group and all that as soon as I know that you're down to join.
Yeah, and Kristen says that she'll try something, and then when it doesn't work, she really gets upset. I totally understand. That's why normally, because it's not that I'm obsessive, but what I really am is what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll have several different options. I'll see one that I like, but I don't accept that that's going to be the one, and I'll have 2, 3, 4, something like that, and I'll say, okay, which one do I like the most? And then in a situation like this, I'll go and I'll show Lee samples of what I found, and she'll obviously dislike the one I like the most. But then she'll.
Hey, it doesn't happen as often as you think.
No, just the ones that really hurt. So.
It's payback for all the times that you bust my bubble and tell me that something I want to do is not technologically possible.
There is that. But but that's why I give options, because I like them all. I mean, all like 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, all of these I kind of like for different reasons. I might prefer one, but I mean, there's no right or wrong at that point. It's kind of like just taste. And one thing I learned doing music. One thing. Thanks, Damaris. Thanks.
You got the name right.
One thing, yeah. When she's threatening my life, yeah.
Right.
Of course I do. No. It's one thing I learned about music is that never do a song. If you're playing a song with somebody, never do one that both of you don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, you both have to like it, or it's not going to be as good. Why do music if you're not enjoying it? Yeah. So for me, it's like, okay, these are the fonts I like. What do you like? And if she picks what she likes, and then we know we both like what the result is. So no regrets. And that's going to be better every time. I want to look at every page we do, every promotional material, every video, everything, um, and be happy with it. And so far, I have been.
Well, I have a different view of that. I want to be happy with it in that moment, of course, and I want to be able to look back at it in a year and only have a small cringe factor.
Well, you learn more, of course, but I mean,
Right. I mean,
when you
because
put
we're
that
going
in
to evolve, we
perspective,
get better at what we do. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
expect that at some point I'm going to look back and be like, oh, God bless our hearts.
I know you weren't threatening me, Damaris. I was kidding. It was a joke. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So,
That's comedy.
I want to still be okay with the decision when we
Sure.
get to the bless our hearts point.
Yeah. You just where you pinch
Yeah.
your own cheek and say, "I was such a
Right.
rude
Oh,
back
we were
then."
so precious.
Oh
Look
my
at
gosh,
us.
that was back when I
I
really
mean,
thought I knew what I was doing.
I'm already doing that. Just, what we were doing 4 months ago
Oh
looks
yeah.
nothing like what we're doing now. Not
I mean,
even
hey.
close.
I mean, hey.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Are you going to pull something up from 4 months ago now?
I mean, hey, look at this. Look at this. This is awesome.
Right. Just
this is
being able to
cool.
do that. I mean, how cool is that, guys?
Did we do
We
that?
couldn't do
Did
that
we do
4
that
months ago.
We couldn't do that 2 weeks ago.
That's very true.
So yeah, I mean, just have this, and now it's all cool. It looks good.
Yeah, I am actually super excited that he figured that out because of my lovely 57 item long show list just might actually get a little longer.
Well, I mean, part of this was she might be now. Well, one of the reasons for this was for Shakespeare reviews, because I was trying to get a good balance between us on camera, because I'm trying to set this up so that we can record it live and not have to do a lot of post-production in the future.
Which I love.
And I think, the first time I'm going to have to, I mean, we ended up doing it a little different, but honestly, I'm probably going to do it similar to this.
And I think I was the bane of Andrew's existence for a little bit because I had kind of a stylistic thing in my head for recording.
Oh, she did. I mean, you were the bane of my existence, but you did have an idea.
Yeah. And I had an artistic vision for the production of this show.
It took me a little while to grasp what she was exactly referring to.
Yeah.
But I think I got it.
I think you did. I think you did. But that is partially responsible for his little deep dive on fanciness recently, because he was trying to figure out what I actually was talking about.
Yeah. And and a lot of it, once it's like, okay, here's kind of what I want, then I start thinking, okay, what's possible? So I start really doing a deep dive into OBS software and saying, okay, what are all the plugins that deal with anything like this? So.
Okay, Kristen says she feels like we're going to break into a quad screen and start singing one of these things is not like the other. Do not tempt us. Like, for real, do not tempt us. Because, we do weird things around here. This is kind of what we do at Life's Fair. It's Faire. Faire is just full of weird, unusual, crazy things. So, I mean, I used to get paid to stand on the side of the road with a pretzel and a mug of something and make fun of people because I worked at Faire. So, this is the dream right here. We will do the weird thing.
But no, I think it works. I think it looks okay, and I like the simplicity. And I think that was the whole idea that we had, because I think a lot of the videos people are putting out are way too busy.
I agree.
They have way too
absolutely
much text,
agree.
way too much distraction, and I don't. Yeah. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, because it's common to do that on on Twitch streams for games when you have putting tons of information, but that's not what we're trying to do.
I'm gonna come out with a Faire version of that and add it as a bit on Life's Fair, or on Monday nights Faire Live.
We could do that.
I think it'd be fun.
Huh. I don't know. I could maybe do it like a motion thing where it keeps popping to different windows all around the screen, and sort of a press your luck sort of thing, like the old game show. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop. And
that could be fun.
I could probably make that work, and make it truly random. I mean, where people, yeah. Oh gosh, I could probably do it where they press a button, and I could do it interactive. I could make that work.
See, this is how our list gets this long. This is how the list has grown to 57 things, because we come up with weird randomness that, it starts as something weird and random, and then it turns into what just happened there. And it's like, wait a second, if we did that and this and this, and
we really haven't
next
talked
thing
about,
we know.
We haven't really talked about this, but one of the things I stumbled across was some links. One of the things that's popular on Twitch through OBS is a level of interactivity where people can actually control windows.
Really?
Remotely.
Don't tell me these things are possible.
It is. So, I mean, what I can do is set up a scenario where people can do Hollywood squares. Yeah, it was like a tic-tac-toe, so it had 9.
Fairs.
But yeah, I mean, we could make it somewhat interactive. Now, to what level? I think doing a buzz type thing where people have a remote buzzer, I think that's very possible. In fact,
that shouldn't be hard.
And affecting the graphics on there, that's very possible too. I mean, they can actually affect where things that flash up or do it based on that automatically, where I don't have to do anything.
Really?
Yeah. Now, it takes a bit to set up, don't get me wrong, but it's doable.
Huh.
There are plugins to already do.
Okay, y'all are hearing him telling me that tech is possible here.
Yeah, this is the first time. This is new.
He's constantly busting my bubble on things, but y'all are my witness. He's telling me that this technology is possible and exists.
Now, to what level? I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, there we go. Now he's going to backpedal.
But I'm just saying, a lot of this is possible. It's done now. There are people that will allow you to control elements on their stream on Twitch. Like they'll let people on Patreon or people who tip, they can do something on their stream.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's automated.
Really?
Yeah. So,
all right, now you got my wheels turning.
So yeah, and there are definitely possibilities. I mean, it can be very simple, such as just doing a pop-up, but it can be a lot more complex because honestly, doing a pop-up and doing other things is the same thing. It's just the setup is more complicated the first time, but enabling it's the same thing.
Right.
So yeah. So now you just got a little bit taste of what our meetings are like.
Yeah, this is pretty much how our meetings go.
Yeah.
Somebody says something random and weird, and it turns into an actual brainstorming session, and then it turns into Andrew telling me whether or not the tech is possible, and then we start over.
Yep, it's a living.
Oh, talking about upcoming shows and stuff, circling back to that.
Yep.
Gen Con.
Right.
Gen Con. Talk about that.
I mentioned that a little bit on Monday. So yeah, my shows got finalized for Gen Con, so that is happening. I'm going to be there on Friday evening at 6, I believe, right?
Sounds right. I'll have to double check. I'll be getting events and what have you up for all of this.
I might be a little off because all the times in Gen Con are Eastern, so I need to check that.
I love it. I love it so much. So in case y'all don't know, I'm actually located in the Eastern time zone, not Central, but Andrew makes me do everything in the Central time zone, so I'm constantly doing time zone math, and I hate it.
It's Friday night at 6 Eastern, and Saturday at 2 Eastern, 2 p.m.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So 5 p.m. Central and 1 p.m. Central for the others. And I'll be doing 2 shows. I'll be doing a show on Friday evening and Saturday afternoon. Now the beautiful thing, let's see, the beautiful thing about live streams are beautiful things. And what that means is we're going to not just, I'm doing it as a free show at Gen Con. I'm not doing it as tickets, so I can split it. I can do it on our channel here and share it on Gen Con's site. So you're gonna get to see the show too. So I think that will be kind of cool. So you'll get 2
Right.
shows from me next week. Oh gosh, next week. I've got to actually figure out what I'm going to play, don't I?
Might help. Might
Got to
maybe.
come up with some cool stuff. Let me think.
Yeah.
I'll work on that. That's what
Well,
this
and you're
weekend's
going to be you're making an appearance at the Comedy Cabaret on Thursday
for.
night as well.
Yeah.
So he's got his 2 solo shows and then the Comedy
Yeah.
Cabaret. 2 or 3
Mark
shows?
Gunn does a comedy cabaret every year where everybody does a song, and I usually MC it and do that at Gen Con, set all that up and run it. But yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're looking at streaming that to Gen Con. It's a free show, so I'm thinking we might be able to just stream it to Life's Affair too, and
Yeah, we'll see on that one.
So I think that'll work and should be fun. So that's the current plan.
But yeah, I'll get event listings up on Facebook for all of that as we get things confirmed and that nature. And then after Gen Con, after about a month later, you've got Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's coming. They're going to be doing
coming on quick.
Online.
Now the weird thing is the different tracks. There's several streams going on. There's one main stream called Dragon Con TV has been a thing for a long time, and they tend to they have to have their own sort of TV channel while the convention is going on that's running 24/7. So what they're doing is they're just essentially turning that into a stream. So each track is going to get 4 events that they are going to put on the stream. And currently it looks like I'm going to be in all 4 of them. A couple of them running them completely myself. So it's going to be interesting. And then there's going to be at least one more stream that I'm going to be on.
Right.
So
real quick, Liz is asking if the Friday and Saturday shows will be recorded. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I mean they'll be streamed to Facebook and
they'll
YouTube
be streamed to Facebook and I'll probably create playlists like I usually do or what have you. But even if they wind up not streaming to our channel, I will share the videos to our channel.
Yeah.
So now, Andrew, are you doing just music shows for Dragon Con, or are you doing any of your panels too? Remind me. I can't remember.
No, I'm yes.
All of the above.
I'm doing all the above. All the above. Yes, it's going to be music shows. So some music solo show, music with my old bandmate Mark Gunn with the Brobdingnagian Bards.
I'm actually pumped about that.
Music with some other people too, and then I'm going to be a part of a few panels and workshops. One is I'm adapting what I normally do every year is I do a workshop on how to record, mix, and master your music on a budget. But because of what's going on, I thought, let me adapt that and put it as a how to live stream, and work with the sound and the audio on a budget. And I think people would really like to check that out. It could help a
Definitely.
lot of people. It's only an hour, but I've done it long enough for several years. I think I can get a lot of good content in there. So that should be good. And yeah, I think I'm going to be working with Mikey Mason and Mark Gunn with the Firefly Drinking Songs show.
Awesome.
Then I'll be a part of the Hobbit Drinking Songs show, and like always, and it's just a lot of good fun. Oh, there's also going to be a good discussion, a panel on how musicians are dealing with the whole COVID situation.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that. I think that one's going to be really interesting.
That was my idea. I presented it to the track and said, I think this would go over well, and they liked it because it kind of works on 2 levels. It works as this is some advice on how to deal with all of this because this is what we've learned in this process. But it's also a bit of a behind the scenes because you get to find out what these performers who you like are interested in, what's going on with them, and you can ask them questions and things. So I think it's a win-win. I think it'll be good. So I'll be a part of that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting and fun.
Yeah, I think so. Now it's a little different. Gen Con has a lot of cool stuff, but it is a lot of it is tickets that you have to purchase.
Yeah.
So you have to set up an account in Gen Con and buy tickets and to go see stuff. Dragon Con isn't really doing that. So theirs is more free things. So as I understand it. So I don't know. I mean, it's two completely different approaches to conventions and conventions in general, but also online conventions. So this is
Yeah.
going to be interesting to see how it works.
Yeah, it definitely will. I don't think anybody is taking the same approach to any of this
No,
stuff
this
this
is all
year.
just new.
I
Let's
mean, we've
try
all
it.
been kind of thrown into the deep end
Mhm.
pretty quickly. So we're all working with what we have to get it started. So it will definitely be interesting to see how it all shakes out and what approaches work really well and which ones don't. You know, a lot of lessons to learn this year.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think necessarily one is right or wrong. It's just I think Gen Con is at a slight disadvantage because they're having to really get it done earlier and quickly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they had less lead time.
and I really think Dragon Con, especially with their Dragon Con TV and their media team, they have a slight advantage because they've kind of done at least similar things before. So
Right. Yeah, they already had a lot of their tech in place.
yeah, at the very least, the process of setting up 4 straight days of a television show.
Yeah.
That's essentially that's what they're doing, and so just streaming that as opposed to putting it on a channel is not that much different.
It's not.
Not really. So
We know because we just did it.
yeah.
Grandfather Mountain.
I mean, now as I understand it, they're going to be doing it 24/7.
Oof.
Now
Good for them.
That may not be true. They may limit it to daytime. I don't know for sure on that.
Well, I assume they have a bigger team working on it than we do.
Yeah, yeah. Meet the team.
Right. Right here.
Right here. Right?
You're looking at it.
Yeah. It's and yeah, and Jan, she says she doesn't mind tickets if the money goes to performers, and yeah, I appreciate that. That's now how Gen Con does it is every ticket costs at least $2, and the $2 goes to the convention. But anything you charge over that goes to the performer. Period. No other percentages or anything. What?
Don't forget that if people don't show up and redeem that ticket, then the performer doesn't get
they have to
the
show
money.
up. Because here's the thing. What they do with tickets is they're generic tickets. I mean, you can buy a ticket for an event, and if you don't use it for the event, you can usually go and use it at a different event as a generic ticket.
Right. And they are keeping that same concept that they use at their in-person event for their online.
And give the performers credit for that ticket, then you don't get paid.
You've got to redeem the ticket. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, because I mean there are a lot of great events going on for Gen Con, but it's important to know that if you buy a ticket to go see Andrew or go see Mark or I think April Knight might be doing a show.
She's on there too.
There's a couple of Ren Fair performers that we all know that will be doing shows there. So if you buy a ticket intending to go see their show, buy a ticket through them, you have to make sure that you show up at the show and redeem your ticket. There's like a little process you go through, or they won't make any money.
And Chris, is that saying that Gen Con is mostly for gamers and Dragon Con is more diverse? And yeah, I think that's very true.
Yeah,
Gen
that's
Con is the big
true.
gaming convention, and I mean, and that's one of the things you normally.
There are things other than gaming, but gaming is their main focus.
That's mostly what the tickets are for. I mean, they have all of these great gaming sessions with where you get to play a game for hours with fun games with a group of people, and I mean, it's a great time. And just paying a few dollars for that, it's actually a really good deal. It's a lot of fun. So
Dragon Con has more tracks and all that kind of stuff.
It's more of it's less of an interactive gaming type thing, and although they do have gaming at Dragon Con for sure, it's more about an informational thing where you get to go to panels and learn stuff at workshops and listen to music, and I mean it's more it's less hands-on is usually. And but it is diverse. I mean, Dragon Con has a little bit of everything. They have a gaming track, they have a music track, they have everything. So
they have multiple music tracks, right? Like, aren't they themed? Like, there's the Filk track
Well,
versus
I mean,
a
Filk
different
track
one,
is
or
generally the music track, the
okay,
convention music track, and then they have themes that sometimes include music. Like they have the high fantasy track if you want to do like
okay,
anything Tolkien based. And if they
okay,
have
that
Tolkien
makes
music,
sense.
then they would do it there. Um,
Okay,
and so yeah, it just depends. But I mean, yeah, what is it? Is it like how many tracks are there? Are there
I don't even know.
like
There's quite a few.
52 or something? It's like
Yeah,
something like that.
it's a decent number.
It is ridiculous. So Dragon Con is huge. So I don't know. I mean, I think for what they're doing, not charging is probably a better move. At
Yeah.
least in the short term. Maybe next year they'll have an online component that they'll charge a lot less than an in-person ticket. Maybe they'll do something like that. And
Well,
they're
and
looking at
for
this as a learning
anybody,
experience.
yeah, for anybody who's never been to Dragon Con and would like to go, this is a good way to be able to attend and get a feel for
This is
it.
true.
Jan just pointed out it cost her $100 for two Gen Con 1 day passes and then the
Yeah.
money for Mark's show.
Yeah.
Any convention you go to is going to be like that. So this is kind of the your best bet to be able to visit virtually visit these events and check them out and see if they're kind of your flavor, your speed, without having to really drop some money on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, really, on the online part, it's a fraction of what they normally have in person. Small fraction.
Yeah,
It really is. I mean, the number.
but it
of
seems to be a
events,
pretty good sampling from what I'm seeing.
It does seem like
Who's
it. They
been
at least
announced.
have. I mean, honestly, Gen Con, I was shocked how many events they had.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah, when
surprised
they've
me.
got some great big games going
Yeah.
on, even online still. Luckily, a lot of the gamers were already well versed in doing games online,
Yes.
so it wasn't that big of a shift for
That
them.
is
They just had
true.
to figure out how to make it work in
The timing
in
could have
their
been
framework.
a lot worse. Like, imagine if this had
Yeah.
happened 10 years ago. Ooh.
Oh God.
Imagine trying to live stream and talk to people 10 years ago.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened.
There was no fiber internet then.
No,
Not much anyway.
We'd have been all hurting bad.
Yeah.
If this was going to happen, this was the right time, technologically speaking, for it to happen.
Yeah, much earlier, and it would have been rough. It's
Yeah.
still rough, but it just started to be possible at this level. So yeah, it is interesting. Ah, oh mercy.
Okay, so earlier today,
Oh, thank you, Janine.
I had a short little comment conversation with Kristen. She was talking about how plague doctor masks are just everywhere, and she was so looking forward to seeing all the Witcher cosplay at Faire this year, and then now everyone is doing a plague doctor costume. And I pointed out, I was like, I'd kind of like to see a mashup there. Plague Doctor and Witcher, that would be kind of cool. And that just kind of set off that whole wheel turning right there. So, what kind of we're going to see a ton of, when fairs reopen, we're definitely going to see a ton of Plague Doctor costumes. That's going to be the go-to cosplay this year. As soon as everything opens back up, I'm seeing this coming. We're in the patron groups. We're already seeing people posting pictures of their costumes in progress and all of that. And I love it. I love it. One of the things I really love about it is that people are doing mashups and they're thinking outside the box. I've seen somebody's working. I wish I could remember who it was, but somebody's working on a Plague Doctor costume that is rainbow colored, and it is amazing, and I love it. But that got me thinking, what kind of Plague Doctor mashups would you want to see? Oh, here we go. Kristen says, give me sexy witchers. Oh, that's right. You did a Belle cosplay. I forgot about that. It was so good. It was so good. So, Andrew, what kind of Plague Doctor mashup cosplay would you like to see? Oh, he's thinking.
I mean, a vampire Plague Doctor would be kind of ironic and funny.
It would be. It would be.
I mean, that would be kind of like maybe a cross between Plague Doctor and Blade.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. Yeah,
that work.
That would be cool.
Batman Plague Doctor. Because bats are known to transmit disease a little bit.
You see, and I'm going a completely different route with what I see in my head. Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, I'm being too literal.
Yeah, Rainbow Bright, Plague Doctor. There's that.
That's wrong.
I know, right?
Strawberry Shortcake. That would be messed up.
Right?
Strawberry Shortcake.
I want to see it so bad now. Somebody needs to do this for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow.
Oh, okay. So Drew says Plague Doctor House. I like that. That is awesome. Yes, please.
Wow.
Oh, and Kristen.
You need somebody to really do a good job with Wilson. And if you pull that off, then you're good.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Kristen is standing by her Plague Doctor Who. I'm super there for that. I'm into it.
Okay, now I'm just thinking of that early Doctor Who episode of the reimagined one, the newer one, with the whole mummy, the children in their gas masks and everything.
Oh Lord!
Oh come on, that was really creepy as hell.
Gary says a Sailor Moon cross, a Sailor Moon Plague Doctor.
Sailor Moon Plague Doctor.
See, that could be super cool.
Oh man! Oh my God! That just sounds like a costume from what is it? Battle of the Planets, the old anime from like the 80s or 70s.
Look, you're talking to the wrong person about anime. That's my kid.
Kind of hats that almost look like beaks. That just sounds like that type of outfit for Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Oh yeah, Tom Baker's scarf over your plague. Yeah, that's an easy. Yeah, totally. Are you my mummy? Yes, that's Damaris knew what I was talking about. So did Alyssa. Yes, they all know.
Okay, so
creepy episode, right? It wasn't just me. That was like one of the creepiest ever. But it was up there. I mean,
okay, you guys are going to find this probably horrific and you're going to question everything about me, but do you know I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, not a single episode ever.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I've tried.
He did try. He did try.
And now the weird thing about me is I have never seen a Doctor Who episode out of order.
Really?
I mean, the first, when I was really, really young, my older sister always loved sci-fi and fantasy. So she just said, oh my gosh, PBS, they're showing Doctor Who in order from the first episode from the 60s, William Hartnell all the way through. They're going to start next week. We're watching this. So as a kid, I watched the first Doctor Who episode I ever watched was the first Doctor Who episode. And then we ended up watching them week after week in order. And then when they were done, they started showing the newer ones that were just coming out as they came out. And so then I watched them all until that first series ended. And then I saw the Doctor Who movie. And then in 2005, when they re-upped it again, I started watching that in order. I've never seen a Doctor Who episode out of order. So I might be one of the only people who can say that now. But yeah, I've seen them all. And you really should. Well, there's some good gems in there.
I'm going to have to, I mean, I hear all the references and everything, and I recognize them as, oh, that's Doctor Who, but I've just never seen an episode. I'm not even entirely sure why I've never seen an episode.
Well, of course.
Other than I don't really watch an awful lot of TV. I will say that. I tend to, and my husband's not really a TV person either. So we kind of enable each other on that topic. We're more likely to go sit by a fire. We have a fire pit out front, and we're more likely to be doing that on a Saturday night. And we are also really old, and we go to bed. Actually, I'm technically past my bedtime right now. As it's after 9 o'clock on the East Coast right now. We go to bed super early. My husband sometimes goes to bed earlier than that. He'll go to bed at like 8:30 at night. In our defense, we get up super early every day. So, but we just don't really do TV.
I'm gonna,
not a rainy day. I'll watch TV.
After this, I'm probably going to heat up some pizza that I had before.
So I should start with Eccleston. Okay.
I still look like I'm in college.
You do. But,
hey, if you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're right. I mean, the pacing of the old ones does have its issues, but I think if you start with the newer one, it's not. It's going to be a lot harder to watch some of the old ones. You might want to like watch maybe a concentrated 10 episodes of the old ones, like the best of kind of thing, just to
Okay.
kind of get the feel.
Get the feel.
And they're right. The pacing is a lot slower, but I mean, back then, the pacing of everything was a lot slower. Old TV shows, old movies, a lot slower pacing.
Oh, I'm not alone. Janine hasn't seen it either. Yay!
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, there are plenty of people who haven't.
And Carol is asking, ever heard of DVR? I actually don't have cable. And I haven't for many, many, many years. We don't ever watch TV, so we don't bother with cable. I do have Netflix and all that. I'm not a total heathen.
Wow. Oh, gosh.
Not a total heathen.
Sorry, I just got a great song idea.
Oh, Lord. Oh, what was that weird random song idea you had the other day that had me cracking up so hard? Do you remember?
I'm not sure.
It could be a couple of different ones, honestly. I was rolling on the floor, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, nice.
You notice we both keep notebooks right by us pretty much all the time. That's why I've made myself more than one note during this conversation.
Yeah. Let's see. No, I don't remember. What was that random song idea? Oh, yeah. I don't think I can use that language publicly.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I was quoting something you did, and then I'm because you have a tendency to be Southern, and
a little bit.
I did a variation of it, and I think it was and yeah, Kristen's got me the total heathen song idea. Yeah, that's it. But it's okay. It's okay. We've all. Yeah, that's right. Busy doing nothing, Drew. Yeah, that is right. And I just told somebody about that. I just told Damaris about that like a week ago or so.
Oh, that's right.
From a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Which that movie, the only good thing about that movie was that song.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
What?
We've been online streaming for well over an hour and over an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's officially past my bedtime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. She's a talker.
I am.
I'm the quiet one. In fact, so much, I really should be down here.
Oh, you're funny.
Yeah, I'm just just a little.
Yeah, he's only doing that because he knows I can't flip him off while we're on the air. He takes advantage. He does.
Yeah, I know. It actually is really late. It's surprising. We really just got into a great. But I mean, that's what we expected tonight. We just expected to chat and talk about stuff and what was going on and have some fun.
Pretty much. Well, thank you, Damaris. She says we've been very entertaining.
Thank you.
We do try.
Indeed, we do. Well, is there anything else we need to say before we head out, or is that the gist? I know we had a rough list, although we primarily were winging it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we covered it. Although I will let leak up another one of our shows. I'll just say a really short little piece about it.
Does it mean a lot of work? Tell me more. Will it make me a jerk? Yeah.
No, we actually are getting ready to move another show into pre-production, out of development, and I'm super excited about it.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Now.
Which one? Which one is it?
Is this the one about the how things are made? Yes, that's a
I'm
good one. I love that one.
so
I love that one.
excited about
I
this
love that
one. So pumped. So yeah, so I've been trying to come up with more ways that we can get our fair artists, artisans, merchants more involved with Life's Fair. I've been kind of working, rolling a bunch of things around in my head, and what we decided to do. A lot of the merchants and artisans are more uncomfortable on camera.
Yeah.
Entertainers are like, they're easy because they'll be like, "You need me to get on camera and do what?" Like they're already jumping up and down on camera, waiting for us to
Now,
say what
some
they should
merchants are
do.
fine with it. Some merchants are
Right?
fine with it.
But a
But
lot of them
yeah,
are not used to being so
exactly.
front and center, and they're not comfortable. That have higher anxiety involved, and they're just not used to being the entertainer.
Yeah.
That's not what they do. So that's one of the harder things that we've been working with is people have appreciated the ideas, but they're like, "Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I can do. I can't do that. I can't do that." That's the number one thing we kept hearing. So I actually came up with a format for a show that is about how our artisans make all the beautiful things that they do, that will allow them to basically stay more behind the scenes while still being in front of the camera. So, and I'm just going to leave it at that cryptic. But yeah, I'll be meeting with our first artisan
Hmm.
coming up really soon. And if you know anybody who is who makes their product and sells their product at Faire, who you think might be interested in being on the show, please send them our way. Please
Yeah.
do.
I mean, we'd be
I'm
interested in the
actively looking for people.
how things are meant to go through the process of how it's made. I mean,
Yeah.
people are interested in that because there's a lot of skill and
Yeah.
design to it that people just don't know about. I mean, I think people want to know that this is people are putting time, effort, and artistry into this craft,
Absolutely.
and to be able to see that, I think it's just going to add more value to their product and hopefully inspire people to even be more interested in purchasing some.
It
So
does.
that's the
When you
hope.
understand the
Yeah,
level of skill
yeah.
and artistry that has to go into every single product they make. I mean, they're not mass producing
No,
things on
they're,
some assembly
the
line.
amount
That's
of their
not how it
work is not
works.
contacting China and sending them a design. This
Exactly.
is them making it, and it's huge difference.
Exactly. So it's I'm super super excited about this show, and I'm hoping we can get it into production, pretty quickly now that
Hmm.
we think we've got the format figured out in a way that will make people comfortable and able to get up there and hawk their wares without having to be entertaining about it. um, and yeah, I'm really pumped about this one. So I'll let the cat out of the bag on that one a little bit, since you guys, sir, have been so much fun.
Nice. Yeah, that
Hmm.
is a good one.
Yeah.
And it is it is fascinating, Carol. I think it is, and Janine, that's and thanks,
Well,
Jen.
I'm
Yeah.
one of those nerdy people who will totally watch like how it's made and
Oh
all
yeah.
that. Like I can watch that all day long. I'm like, how they make spas. Ooh.
Yeah. You
I
know.
will watch that all day
Ooh.
long. Like
Today
it's
we're
just
going to spend an hour
fascinating.
talking about the intricacies of Roman concrete. I'm there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm
that's just
totally there for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. Right,
you know.
right.
I look my son's the same way. He'll sit there and watch him with me. I'm trying to remember one he put on not too long ago. We like totally. I sometimes I'll put the TV on in the background. If it's raining outside, I put the TV on and put some random show that I can ignore on for my dog. My dog has a lot of storm anxiety, and the noise, the changing noise, actually helps her. Well, a few months ago, we put on, it wasn't how it's made, but it was a similar show. And it was showing the assembly line process of some random product. And me and my kid wound up just watching it. We were just like, tell me more.
Oh
You
god,
know?
I remember watching how they made Jelly Bellies one time, and I was just like, you got to be
Yeah.
kidding me. I was
It
watching the
was
whole
so
processes.
cool.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, total nerds. Total nerds. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Total.
definitely a nerd.
Yes, Kristen. She's mentioning Mr. Rogers, and that is was exactly my thought on that too. I
That's actually
suggested that as
part
the
of the
analogy.
inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Drew's asking if
Yep.
we're looking for people to interview, and we've got somebody for the first one, for the test version. But we are looking for people after that. Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
if
Like
you have anybody in mind, yeah, let us
I
know.
book people however far out they want to book. That's how this works.
And Katsurita's showing how it's made on the Astrolabes
Ooh.
with a
Okay.
YouTube link. So
Clicking that, saving that for
there
later.
you go. Nice.
Okay, step. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that link because I like adore those types of videos.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously. I will watch that all day long. It's just fascinating.
Totally.
So yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite things about being at fairs is you get to see all these really cool artists demonstrating.
Oh yeah, there's a glass blower we're already looking at, but if you have somebody in mind, yeah. That glass blowers are great, and they have some that are really skilled on the circuit.
Oh, absolutely.
Really phenomenal glass blowers. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they're, most of them have a full setup at their, at their home. So it's easier for us to be able that's part of the problem is a lot of people can't go to their workshops or what have you right now. So that's partly why this show hasn't moved forward into production before now. We've been having to work around the pandemic as well. That's been a challenge for development on quite a few of the shows that we're working with, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a challenge for musicians. I mean, for general, trying to get bands together, because there are plenty of bands I'd be like, oh, I'd love to have you on my show. And they're like, well, one of us is in this state and the other one's in that state.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's...
Nobody anticipated the lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, recording a CD might be possible, but video, it's a little much for the average person unless they're really comfortable with video work. And
yeah, it's much trickier.
Yeah, so much so there was one the one group I ended up from a week ago or so that I ended up mixing their raw footage together myself and editing it because they could record it, but they were having trouble editing it, and I was kind of like, I just want you on the show at this point. If you can send me the raw footage, I'll put something together, and I did, and it was I was glad it worked out. It was a lot of work, but it's overwhelming. And they had some good stuff, but it was a lot. So yeah, it's not. And for something like this, I mean, the beautiful thing is you can just do it in individual shots, put it together, and then do a voiceover afterwards. So it's going to make it a lot easier for people, for them to do it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating. I'm going to love it. It's going to get my Discovery Channel watching mojo back into production.
Yes, well, and I'm a big fan of the Discovery Channel and all of that as well. I mean, I nerd on all of it, documentaries in general. Yeah. So I mean, this is not going to be the only documentary, or documentary style, or that type of
there are other stuff.
Quasi-educational but entertaining at the same time thing that we wind up doing for our channel. Mm-hmm. We have a lot. We're nerds. We like this stuff. We like to learn. I find it super fascinating. I hang out at like Colonial Williamsburg for fun. I'll go every day. I love it.
Don't we all?
But in our community, quite a few of us do. That's partly why I found our community and felt at home there, because I wasn't the only one who was like, oh, they're cooking on an open fire using materials that were only available in the 16th century. Sign me up. I actually do that a lot more than people would realize, whether I'm at a fair or not. I actually really like doing 17th and 18th century style cooking, and my boys like the recipes. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I like food. They like food. It's fun. It's different. Um, but yeah, so I mean, that was a big draw of the Faire community for me, was that it was full of people who were nerdy about some similar, if not the same stuff as me. And I learned a lot about other things. I mean, I used to do, you remember, you may not remember this, Andrew. I think one of the first times you and I had a meaningful conversation was on a school day, and
Yeah.
we were stuck in the inn.
Stuck in the inn at LARF. Yeah.
Do you remember why I was even in there? What I was doing in there? I was doing a demo. I was giving a talk, a historical talk on the history of writing.
That's right. I do remember that.
Talking about how to make quill pens and all that kind of
pen
mess.
set there, and I do remember that. Yeah.
And it was pouring rain, and that's why there was nobody there, and we wound up just hanging out. I think that was kind of how you and I really became friends.
Yeah, that's kind of how we met. That was like, what, 2005?
It would have been 06, because Katrina was 05.
Oh, that's true.
So I wasn't. Yeah, I was at this was at Louisiana Renaissance Festival. So my first year there was 06.
Wow.
So that's when we met, was 06. It was because of a rainy day. That's we wound up in the same building taking shelter while I was doing my demo, and we had so few kids that we were just kind of hanging out.
Thanks for the memory.
Yeah, been a long time. So,
yeah, that was good stuff.
You know, Janine just said, if people don't have the knowledge, they can't apply it to modern situations either. That is so true. You know, I always giggle when people talk about, I don't even know where tacos are grown. I actually really believe that's a big problem in our modern world, is that people no longer are connected to their food source and food supply.
Yeah. The closest they get is a vending machine or a grocery store.
Yeah, they wouldn't know if if the supply chain stopped, there would be an awful lot of people who would not know what to do, and it would be bad. I don't wear a tinfoil hat, but I like being self-sufficient. Andrew will make fun of me a little bit about it, but I cook from scratch almost all the time. Mm-hmm. I do like learning about old things. You can see I'm knitting, and there's other looms in the background there. I sew. I'm actually a master gardener, and I'm working towards my master herbalist designation. And I'm also generally just handy. We live on a 3-acre small homestead. We just moved here, so our gardens aren't in yet. And I think I finally wore my husband down. He's going to let me have chickens. Super excited. I haven't had chickens or ducks in a few years. So I think the last place we're military, so we move around a decent amount. So the last place that we lived, we couldn't have them. So I'm super excited because I have a landlord here that is very, very enabling, and I love him. So, Kristen saying the pandemic made her fall in love with gardening so hard. I love gardening. I specifically love growing food. I don't do so well with things that don't have like purpose other than to look pretty. But if it's edible or medicinal, I'll grow it big and gorgeous. It's just this weird thing. I'm actually a nationally certified gardening instructor too. I love gardening on that level. I geek on it really, really super duper hard. So if anybody ever wants to talk about gardening or chickens or growing food or any like self-sufficiency type skills, hit me up. I'm your girl. I will talk about it all day long.
And our next show in pre-production is Master Gardening with Lee.
Hey, actually, there is some stuff about gardening and outdoor skills that it is all Faire related, but we do have a couple of shows on the list that are related to those topics.
Hey, and you can use chickens and ducks as the mascots for the show if you get them in time. So yeah.
Hey, I miss my ducks. I was known as the duck lady for a while. I had a couple of ducks, and I just loved my ducks so much. I miss them. So,
such a softie.
Yeah, I am. I am. I was a good duck mama.
Yeah, there are
But
too
yeah,
many
I'm
bad duck
always,
mamas out there, I suppose.
hey, you'd be surprised, man. You'd be
Probably not.
surprised. Eh. Well, there's all those people that like to buy chicks, ducklings and baby chicks at like Easter, and they dye them funky colors and stuff. Y'all don't ever get me started on that. I don't like those
Wow.
people. Just I'm just gonna leave
They
it
don't
there because
start
that is a
calling them.
soapbox.
They don't start calling them peeps, do they? Because that's just wrong.
I've actually seen it advertised that way.
Oh my god.
It's bad. It's so bad. It's so bad for the babies. It's people who do not understand what they're getting into. Yeah. No, I'm not going to get up on that soapbox. Not getting up on it. Not going to happen. You really don't want me to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, now it's over an hour and a half on the stream.
All right. Yeah, we should go. We should go.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, and I'll throw this one thing out there. If any of you guys have an idea for a show, if you and it doesn't even have to be a fully formed idea. It can be, it would be super cool if somebody did a show kind of like this. Always feel free to let us know about those things, because it may be something that we're already working on. It may be a different take on something we're already working on, or you never know what you saying some weird thing to us could spark, and what direction it could take. So please always err on the side of saying the weird thing to us.
Because we never say weird things, but we're very understanding. I'm very understanding about it, so don't worry.
Never. Ooh, comment hunting. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm up late enough. I can go and see if I can see the comment.
All right.
That is excellent. I think it's actually visible from here. If I go, I don't know if I can see it over my tree line. I'm going to go try, though.
And maybe I'll have to break out my telescope.
No, this one's visible to the naked eye.
No, but it's more fun if you have a telescope.
I'll give you that. We got one around here somewhere. I don't even know where it is. It's probably in the back of my teenager's closet.
Right, so let's draw on the C4.5.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, I tried. Yes. Those were the days.
All right, so I think this is our third exit. This is kind of like second or third dinner, right?
Yeah, I think so. So, okay, we've done the encore. We've done the second encore. It's time.
It's time.
So, thanks again for spending some time with us. It's always been a pleasure. Always is. And hopefully you learned a little bit more about what's going on with the life's affair, because, well, let's be honest, there's a lot going on. And
so much.
You'll keep hearing more as time goes on, but there'll be a lot more coming up quick to see. And please drop us a line if you're interested in helping out and joining us with our digital team. And I guess have a wondrous night, and we'll see you soon.
See